Hey job seekers, Jennifer Tardy here, your career success coach, and we are back with another video. I love doing these videos, and in today's video we are talking about something that I get tons of questions about, so I had to do a video on this. This topic is how to get interview feedback from an employer, especially if you've been rejected from a position. And we all hate those moments, but you know my philosophy, getting interview feedback is uber important to help you course correct for the next interview. So I'm gonna show you all of that today in this video. Plus, I'm gonna give you my favorite segment, the career success bonus tip for underrepresented population. So please stick around, hang around through to the very end. Let's get it started. Have you ever left an interview wondering, are they gonna call me back? Did I do a good job? Am I gonna get this job? I mean, we all leave interviews feeling that way. And you know that I'm a huge proponent of asking for interview feedback. Well, job seekers, this is the video for you. I'm gonna show you exactly how to ask for that feedback. Hopefully it is before you leave the interview, but if you missed that opportunity, I'll show you some other examples of how to do it afterward. Okay, let's get started. Tip number 1. Ask for feedback during the interview. So, you know, if you get to the very end of the interview and the interviewer says, hey, do you have any other questions for me? Or can I answer any other questions for you? Do you remember that question that I mentioned that you should absolutely ask at the very end of an interview? If you don't, make sure that you check out this video where I'm talking about the most amazing questions that you can ask an interviewer. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you in this video, but still make sure that you check out that other one. Now, this is what I call a courageous question because it takes a lot of courage to be able to ask it. Most people won't ask it, so the mere fact that you will ask it will help you to stand above the rest. Now, here's the question. It goes something like, is there anything that I may have said or not said that would leave you feeling less than 100% sure that I'm the person for this position? Whew. That is a serious question to be able to ask, because now you're asking the interviewer, typically the person who you would be reporting to, is there anything that you did say or didn't say that now you, Mr. and Mrs. Interviewer, have questions about for me? And that is your way of asking for feedback during the interview, because now you put them in a position to answer that question and hopefully answer that question truthfully. So they may tell you what brings them concern, and then you have an opportunity to correct it. And what I call filling in the gaps before the interview is over. And you definitely want to make sure that you do that. And so if you fill in the gaps before the interview is over, you can leave feeling even better that they have no concerns about you, and that will leave you feeling like a top candidate. So don't forget to check out that earlier video to find out the other questions that you also should ask during an interview to really knock their socks off. Tip number 2, ask for feedback when you send your thank you note. Now, this is only if you miss the opportunity to ask during the interview. So let's say you never asked that amazing question during the interview. Now the interview is over, and now you have a second opportunity to do it. You're sending your thank you letter to your interviewers, specifically the person that you would report to, or maybe even their boss. This is a good opportunity to ask this question somewhere toward the end of your thank you letter. If you don't know how to write a thank you letter, you need to check out this video, because this video is going to show you how to keep the conversation going after an interview is over. And a huge part of that is through your thank you letter. So just know that for tip number 2, you can ask the same question that you missed asking in tip number 1. Okay? Quick pause. How have you asked for feedback in the past? I'm curious to know. Leave me something in the comment section and let me know if you have some unique ways where you've asked for feedback from an employer in the past. Tip number 3, and here's my disclaimer about tip number 3. This tip is really better if you've already received a rejection. Now, most people would think, God, I received a rejection. Why would I want to put myself through getting feedback about why I received that rejection? And here's why. I'm a huge proponent of this. It is because you may discover that the reason why they rejected you for this position had nothing to do with you. It was something else. Maybe they found an internal candidate who at the last minute decided to apply. Maybe there was a restructuring. Maybe they lost funding for the position. And if you don't get that feedback, you'll never know. And you'll walk around thinking that it's about you when the song isn't about you. Okay. Another reason why I share with people to ask for feedback is because that feedback that they offer you, if it is something that you said or did, or something related to your knowledge, skills, and abilities, then you will be able to course correct before you go into your next interview, which is uber important to be able to course correct. So look at it as the interviewer or the recruiter giving you the feedback that you need to do better at the next interview. So tip number 3 is to ask the recruiter after you receive your letter of rejection, okay? Or your email, your voicemail, or something related to rejection. Now, here's how you do that. I would send an email to the recruiter because odds are when they reject you, they'll probably give you a call or shoot you an email. And if you're talking to the recruiter, let's say they call you and you're talking to them, you don't have to send an email. If they call you and you're talking to them, then ask them on the spot if they can give you feedback. But it's really important that you let them know that this is really important to you so that you can course correct as you're continuing your interviewing process. And without feedback from them, you might make the same mistakes on the next interview. Okay, so that's if you're talking to them. Now, if they call you and leave a voicemail or they shoot you an email, then you can respond back with an email saying, thank you for letting me know, and thank them again for the opportunity. But also ask them, would they mind hopping on the phone with you so that you can ask them a few questions related to, what you may have done that caused you to not get this position. And yeah, ask them, can you hop on the phone? I wouldn't just ask the question through the email, because if you're on the phone, it gives you a chance to ask more probing questions or more follow-up questions. And if you just ask them via email, you'll seem like you're going back and forth via email. So it's better to ask, can we hop on the phone? I have a couple of questions for you. And that way you can get that feedback, you can take it, and you can course correct for your next interview. Now, as a side note, keep in mind that you are not trying to change anyone's mind. If you have already received a rejection from a job, your only goal at this point is to get feedback, not to try and change someone's mind about you, not to try and give your feedback about the interview at the time. Your only job is to gain the feedback, say thank you, and to move on. Now, if you want to know how I would recommend responding to a rejection letter, I did a video for that a little while ago. Make sure you check out this video. I think that it could be very resourceful for you. Quick question for you. Have you ever had an interviewer refuse to give you interview feedback? That can happen sometimes. I would love to know what you did. If you were able in the end to get some feedback, even after they said no at first, tell us in the comment section, what did you do? What was that unique thing that you did? Let us know. Now we're on to my favorite segment, the career success bonus tip for underrepresented populations. And in today's tip, I want to share with you a video that I did for my second YouTube channel, which is where I train recruiters, specifically diversity recruiters. And if you want to check it out, you can see the video here. However, the point is, it's really important that employers stay away from saying that you, a job seeker, did not get this job because you were not a good cultural fit. And because it's not fully what they mean, and sometimes it can be misinterpreted. So the reason why I'm bringing this up over here on the Career Success channel in this video is because I want you to also be wary when you hear an employer say, well, you didn't get this job because we didn't think that you were the best cultural fit for this position. Okay, well, what do they mean by that? And so this is one of those areas where I want you to take it a couple of questions deeper. And as we begin to think about diversity, your diversity, in what ways did you not align to the mission, vision, and values of the organization? Because that's what cultural fit should mean, right? That you and however you presented yourself didn't really align to the mission, vision, and the values of the organization. Now, how other employers are using it could be different, but I want you to walk away knowing why they said that. Be very clear, because sometimes they're not saying what they truly mean. Sometimes they could actually mean that it's a pace thing, that we don't think that you can, be fast enough to work here. Sometimes they're saying, we don't think that you would fit into kind of the personalities here. And so I bring this up here because I'm always a big proponent that different doesn't mean lesser. Different just means different. And sometimes different can be exactly what an organization needs. So if you ever hear this, dive a little bit more deeply into where they were coming from when they said it. And you want to make sure that they're truly not talking about your culture. Now, thank you for kicking it with me through this video while we talk about interview feedback. I hope that you got what you came for and that you now understand that it's important to, number one, ask for feedback during the interview. Number two, if you missed number one, to ask for it in your thank you note. And number three, if you missed number two, or if you were rejected from a position, to make sure that you ask the recruiter to hop on the phone so that you can get feedback at that point too. Now, if you are watching this video, it must mean that you are interviewing or you are looking for a position. So I want to share with you something very special. I have a free guide for you called the 21 Pieces of Career Advice, specifically for underrepresented populations. You can get the link for it in the details section below. Download it. It is yours and it is free. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell. That is the only way you're going to get notified when we have new videos that are out. Now, if you love this video, you're going to enjoy the next. See us every Tuesday for new videos. But in the meantime, in order for us to become a workplace that is underrepresented no more, we must continue to listen, engage, apply, repeat, now learn. I'm Jennifer Tardy, your career success coach, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.